You're listening to Life with Herpes, and this is episode 66. Welcome to today's episode on Life with Herpes. I am your host, Alexandra Harbushka, and as always, I am thrilled to be here with you. If you're watching me on YouTube right now, you can tell I have wet hair. I just got out of the shower. So that's what I was doing. I was in the shower and I was like, okay, what episode am I going to record? So it's just so wild to me to think that we can go basically anywhere in the world and you can hear what I'm saying. You can be in London, or you can be in the shower, or you can be on a boat, you can be on a train, a plane, in the car, you could be in Yellowstone National Park. I don't know, wherever you are, it's just so cool that we have this method of podcasting and YouTube and just so many ways for us to get the message out, right? Break the stigma of herpes. So thank you for being here. If you are watching on YouTube, go on ahead and subscribe. I don't know where the button is. So go on ahead and subscribe there. If you are listening in iTunes, it is such a great organic way to promote the show is to subscribe, rate, and review the show. That organically creates an algorithm on the back end that promotes the show. So that is basically a way that you can pay it forward to future people that don't have herpes yet, that are going to get diagnosed with it, unfortunately, and this is just a way that you can help them pay it forward. Or maybe it's someone that has had it for years, maybe like myself, has had it for years, and all of a sudden they just want to learn the information. So it basically helps organically promote the show. So thank you for doing that. I was reading the comments yesterday, so thank you for your kind words. I truly appreciate it. And thank you. Just thank you. This is the season of thanks. And I'm just really proud to be here, and I'm happy to be here, and it's so touching when I get your emails and I get your texts and I get everything that you say. So just thank you. Okay, this is one of they're all my favorites, of course, but this one comes from Kelly. She's in Seattle. I've been there once, Kelly. It was cold. It was really cold when I was there. I had to go run in and go shopping and buy socks and mittens and a hat. I was really cold. Anyways, so Kelly from Seattle, basically, what you had to say is, I've never had an outbreak, so I definitely don't have herpes. So I guess your question is, if you've never had an outbreak, is it possible to have herpes? So here's what I mean. Unfortunately, the lack of a visible outbreak does not mean you're herpes free. It does not mean you're in the clear. There's so many different things that herpes is mistaken for or not mistaken for. So for example, as women, we go, oh, I must have nicked myself shaving. Oh, I must be getting a yeast infection. Because like when you get yeast infections, your vagina, the vaginal canal, the lips kind of get dry, they get a little cracked, and you go, oh, it must just be a yeast infection. Or it could be, oh, I must have gotten a wax, so that's what the blister is from. Or I have an ingrown hair, or something of that nature, right? Like totally been there. I lived in the sorority house, and when I was in college, and I can remember girls would be like, oh my gosh, is this herpes? Come take a look. And it would be like, no, it's just an ingrown hair. Now, at this point in my life, who knows? I don't know. But that was what I diagnosed it as a 20-year-old when I was, when my college roommates would have questions about themselves. So anyways, so it's really easy to misdiagnose herpes. Same for men. They can be they can be confused as jock itch. I don't really know what jock itch is, but it can be misconstrued. I know if you are a guy, you'll be like, Alexandra, it's so obvious what a jock itch is, but I don't know what that is. Again, ladies, it can be yeast infection, heat rash, chafing, like if you're an athlete, sometimes, our underwear gets in the way or just whatever, right? So we can get a rash. So it's so easy to misdiagnose. And just, of course, because none of us want to associate what we have down there, we don't want to even use the word herpes in the same paragraph, let alone the same sentence, let alone even assume that we have it, right? We want to do everything we can to avoid it. So yeah, that's such a great question, Kelly. So yes, you can have herpes without having an outbreak. Now, okay, let me take that back. You will have had some form of an outbreak at some point, right? But it could be so mild that you may not have even noticed it, right? So, it can definitely show up. You can have even come into contact with it, and it can show up years later. That's not as common. It definitely is more common for the outbreak, the herpes, all that to show up within, 2 days to a couple weeks. It's definitely not normal to lie dormant for years, but it can, okay? So it definitely can. According to the Center of Disease Control, CDC, 84% of the individuals who have herpes have no clue. That's a huge chunk. So let me say that again. 87.4% of infected individuals have no clue. Again, according to the Center for Disease Control, the CDC. That's huge. That's huge. So really what I'm trying to communicate here and how it happens is people go, well, I've never had an outbreak. I'm cool. I've never done this. And unless you've been tested for herpes, unless you've been tested, had the herpes test, gotten your results back, then there's no way to prove that you don't have herpes. Just because you've never had an outbreak does not mean you don't have herpes. That's kind of, and what I'm saying this, to you, Kelly, and other people that are listening, I don't want to scare you, right? I don't want to send you into some heebie-jeebie situation and thinking any type of itch, pimple, bump is herpes if you do not have herpes. What I'm saying is go get tested. Go get tested, go to the clinic, go to Planned Parenthood, go to your doctor, and get tested. Ask for a blood draw, and that will determine if you have had outbreaks or herpes in your past. And if you have an open lesion, then they can do a swab. The other thing why I'm telling you this, and this is such a great question, Kelly, is when you are dating and your partner goes, I'm cool, I don't have anything, I've never had an outbreak, what are you talking about? That doesn't mean he or she's in the clear. What it means is he or she has never noticed an outbreak. They've never felt it, or they misdiagnosed it as an ingrown hair, or I cut myself shaving, or it's jock itch, if they have it, okay? Again, I'm not trying to accuse people that don't have it of it. I'm just trying to make it clear so that you, Kelly, and other people who are in that, like, oh, he would never have it, or oh, she would never have it. He or she just may not know, right? May not know that they have it. That's all that I'm saying. So anyways, I'm so glad you asked this question. Thank you so much, Kelly, for being an awesome rock star, superstar, and submitting your question into the hashtag Ask Alexandra section. If you want to be super duper cool like Kelly from Seattle, you can go to hashtag Ask Alexandra, you can go to lifewithherpes.com and submit your question. It's right there on the homepage. Submit your question. I do get a lot of questions, so sometimes the turnaround time is a little bit long, but I do my very best, and I do reply to you via email as rapidly as I can to answer your question right away if it's urgent. So keep that in mind. I have two hands to type with, so I do the best that I can do to get back as soon as possible. On that note, one of my greatest pleasures, word of my greatest. It just warms my heart to be able to coach and to be able to be here with you and to be able to be one-on-one with you. And I receive, like I said earlier in the podcast, I receive emails and text messages and questions, and it just warms my heart to be able to coach. So thank you for that opportunity. Thank you for the suggestion. I know a lot of you sent me suggestions wanting to coach with me, and I just want to say thank you for that. With that being said, if this is something you're interested in, I would love to be here for you. So just go to lifewithherpes.com and become a member. It's free, FREE, and you can receive discounts on coaching and a couple different programs. Anyways, just go to lifewithherpes.com. Again, thank you for this opportunity to be here with you. Give thanks. We are in the season of giving and thanks and holiday cheer. So again, thank you. I am so grateful for you, and thank you for being here. All right, I'm going to go dry my hair because I'm really cold, and you have a good rest of your day, and cheers. I'll see you soon. Bye.